If you've ever wanted to see one of the world's most beautiful amusement parks, but for some reason coupled with the most chaotic train wreck commentary of any coaster vlog you've ever seen in your life, then first of all, what the heck is wrong with you? And second of all, you're in the right place. So here I am entering Busch Gardens Williamsburg strategically on a weekday because I wanted to avoid crowds. I'm including way too much about my entrance to this park, including, as you can see, my hazards on, because that is SeaWorld Busch policy. Oh, look, there's the coupling of the topic with that purple thing, where basically what it means is that you're going to take a second while I close the door, because it's going to sound like shit in my recording if I don't close the door, because my AC just kicked in, and just trust me, man. Okay, the audio fidelity of this room is still a piece of fuck, but we're good. Alright, so anyway, so I'm getting priority pass in, and so the foundation of this trip, I have a lot of time to go through before I even enter the park, so let me introduce you to the foundation of me being in the Virginia area for the second time in 9 months. Even though I have so many more credits to get, like, why would I return to the same place so quickly? That's me going through the priority parking. That's the purple thing. Anyway, so back in November, my friend Michael, my best friend of all time, basically, he was like, dude, all right, let's go on a trip, because pandemic, and I just want to do some new shit. And I was like, look, let me manipulate you into going and riding some amusement park rides with me. Choose any place in the country, and I'll tell you the local parks, and we'll travel together. And he had an infatuation with Virginia, because, like, museums and shit. And I was like, fucking, okay. Well, Intimidator 305 is my number one bucket list coaster, and Busch Gardens Williamsburg has all this cool shit. Let's go, man. Let's do that Virginia shit. And let me interrupt my story. If you don't give a fuck what I'm talking about, I added a new thing in the description of my videos, because I realized I recorded 1 hour and 19 minutes of this footage. So the way that it works is, if you only care about a particular coaster, by the way, for SEO players like me, every coaster in this park is listed in there, and if you click the description link at the timestamp or whatever, it'll send you exactly to when I talk about that, because that'll be as I walk past its station. Like, that's the gimmick. Pretty good shit, right? So anyway, going back to my shitty story, as I walk from the fucking... If you see where I'm foraging content from, like, I'm just starting at a parking area and picnic area, whatever. I'm filming extra shit just so I can drag on for longer and longer with the same footage for my travels. I hope you can tolerate this. I'm creating a feature-length movie out of an average day at Busch Gardens Williamsburg by a person who went there alone and smoked a lot of weed. I mean, how's that not the best content? Alright, so where was I? Okay, so I was with that... Okay, so I came with my buddy, and he never even got to Busch Gardens Williamsburg, because our route was the opposite. I go to King's Dominion tomorrow, but I went to King's Dominion first in that trip. He only had a couple days, so we did like his museum shit during the day, and I scheduled it, honestly, being quite real with you, manipulated it based on my experience knowing that the tighter the schedule, the more off-season it is, and the more it is a weekday, the fewer crowds you would expect. And I saw they were open from 5 to 10, both parks, in November, when the topic arose, because I wanted to make that happen, because I wanted to travel with coasters, bullshit with my friend. So I saw those days in those parks. I'm like, this is clearly it. Like 5 to 10, they open that minimally during weekdays. How do people even know it's open, right? So we traveled there, and I did his museum shit, and I went in thinking I'd have to tolerate it, but I actually left with a newfound appreciation for museums. I actually had a good time, like modern art and shit. I guess being high helped, but it was cool, yeah. Maybe it's because I'm an adult now or something, I don't know. But anyway, so at night at King's Dominion, you know what? I'm going to leave you with a cliffhanger. I'll wait for, even though it's the beginning of the story, I'll wait until we get to the King's Dominion video to tell you that story. Clickbait. It'll be my next one. I'll publish it next. I mean, it's already recorded, so I know it's coming next. Anyway, So I'm coming in through the privileged entrance or whatever. So when I was looking at, you see that like bottom one, that like November, December fucking thing? Oh, Pantheon. Pantheon wasn't open when I was last here. So the thing that sucks about the time that we came, which is honestly the conclusion I was trying to reach, and I'm seeing that it took me 5 minutes to get to the conclusion of this part of my story, is fuck that. That was a mistake. It was a fucking mistake. And the reason why is because I didn't know that, at least on the East Coast, I mean, I wasn't aware of it in my previous travels, Christmas events are the worst for enthusiasts. And the reason why is they don't prioritize roller coasters. So I showed up, and at this park, the only coasters that were open were InvadR, Verbolten, and Apollo's Chariot. And the kiddie coaster, I think, it doesn't matter. So I went in on day 2 after having a King's Dominion day with only 2 coasters open. So this was an upgrade. I went from 2 to 3.5 coasters open. Not fantastic, being quite honest with you. So anyway, as I walk up this area that you've already seen narrated from Theme Park Worldwide, or one of the channels that actually does this documentation correctly. So I'm not gonna like patronize you with the whole like, I think London, oh my god, we're traveling through the spirits of Europe. Okay. So instead I'll talk to you about how I'm probably gonna pan back and come back and whatever. I decided on an impulse here because I'm bringing my GoPro, just like in the previous videos that you should totally watch because I want you to watch them so I get money. Anyway, in the previous videos, I was holding the GoPro. Basically, I bought the wrist mount, the chest mount, the this mount, the that mount, Dippin' Dots. Anyway, so I brought all that shit, and I just felt very socially aware of how much I look like a bad YouTuber with that shit that I was just like psyched out. Like, if you saw, I only recorded on a chest mount on like one fucking video at Indiana Beach because I was like, dude, I look like a fucking ass twat. So I just can't. And in this park, I thought I filmed, maybe I didn't even see it while talking to you, but I went into the guest services area and I got the permit for some footage documentation. And check out I'm so high I forget what that animal's called. So me, as high as I am now narrating this, high Sesame Street character who I can't identify, I'm holding a permit signed by the supervisor of whatever services department, OSHA, etc. at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, that this clown shoes right here is allowed to wear a mounted piece of equipment to record footage at an amusement park. SeaWorld properties, in the Busch Gardens shit, which is under SeaWorld, lets you do that shit. So I'm like, let's take full advantage of this. But since I came last year with a friend, and the only things that were open were those coasters, and it was late at night every day because I went after, like, we did art exhibit shit or whatever we did. And I kind of forget the park, and I'm high, you know the deal. So I go in here first. I'm like, I remember they have like a thing that takes you uphill. The park's actually kind of complicated and like hard to learn. And I'm seeing this thing that I'm otherwise going to forget later in the video. So let me get, which is actually, okay, I call this 0.5 of a roller coaster. It's technically the 4th coaster that was open last year. And I found it later. The one part of the story that I didn't tell you is that Busch Gardens Williamsburg, when the temperature goes under 41 degrees or 38 or 43, depending on the ride, whatever, they have to close. And when I went during that event, during the winter where nothing was open except those 3 coasters plus this fucking thing, you're fucked when it goes under. And this was the last one to close. Like, I was dejected after not being able to ride anything. The whole park was closed. The flats were fucked. I think you could only ride like some like little whatever, and I was just on the way out of my park. I ate at a wonderful restaurant here, so don't think this whole review is negative. It's actually pretty positive overall. This park is fucking awesome. Busch Gardens Williamsburg is awesome, so don't take my complaining like I'm a cunt. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, that was open, and I basically, at this point in the video, thought, okay, so I got that I was going to forget. And I might as well go uphill on this thing that is clearly going to give me plenty of good footage so that I could stall for time while going through this epic journey of non-entertainment for you to enjoy. Oh, the laziness of this footage astounds me. So I'm going uphill, whatever. So keep in mind. So I have been to Busch Gardens Williamsburg before. With my friend Michael, we only went to King's Dominion. Then he left, and I gave myself 2.5 extra days, where it was supposed to be Busch Gardens Williamsburg, Six Flags America, and we had done King's Dominion 2X. I came here alone. And it was like 47 degrees going in, and I knew that I literally had like a time stamp of how quickly I'd get fucked on the first day. So I went straight to InvadR, and then I got a Chariot, and I didn't even get to Verbolten. The temperature dropped, and all 3 coasters were closed. Boom, fuck you. Came back the next day, went straight to Verbolten, got 3 rides. Hell yeah, dude. Verbolten is one of the best family ride coasters I've ever ridden. Absolutely good, man. Really, really good. I mean, obviously, if I could just, change time and how it works, I'd rather have Big Bad Wolf there because, I mean, that seems like the only aero suspended that even rivals the Bat, and I wish I had the privilege of riding it. It's a bummer I didn't. So I rode that. InvadR, Family GCI, Kentucky Flyer vibes, whatever, moving on. That flat school. That's fine. An Apollo Chariot, which I'll get to later, but that's essentially the worst B&M Hyper, is what I thought. I think it might be second worst now. Candemonium's rivaling it. So right there, the first thing you see is some new bitch that wasn't available last time I was here, as I'm hugging Loch Ness Monster, the star of the video. Don't worry, I get there. I'm going to spend so much time talking about Loch Ness Monster in this video that you're not going to feel clickbaited, I assure you. I assure you. So, Griffon is... Okay, look, Loch Ness, bitch. Alright, so Griffon is absolutely the best fucking dive. So, up until this point, I thought that B&M dives were one of my least favorite coaster models. And I guess that's just because I've only been on Valraven and SheiKra. I missed Emperor by a few weeks when I was at SeaWorld San Diego. And, this thing is awesome. Look, this footage isn't awesome, but that thing was forceful. Really, really epic scale, gorgeous colors, great views, intensity, an atypical modern B&M intense. I guess it's because it's not that modern, whatever it is. The older the B&M, the more it intimanizes and the more I like it. By intimanizing, I mean dude, come on, it rattles you. It does some work. It doesn't just make you go, whoo, I'm being massaged in the belly as I get nurtured to sleep by my pretty little roller coaster that's making me feel soft and gooey. Fuck that shit. I want a roller coaster that does things, and the 2 B&Ms in this park do things. They're good. And I wish that it was a marketable thing for Bollinger and Mabillard to be yo, look, if y'all want just a slightly different product, that Mist fan, I'll tell you about that later. If you want a better product, may we suggest that you invest in B&M from the late 90s versus B&M products from 2022. We go retro on your ass, and we offer you actual good coasters from our company, from the makers of Montu. And if you feel like also mentioning that, Kumba, but real coasters like Diamondback, the best hyper. I'm about to say intimate hyper, man. I'm clearly stunned saying these words. It's not. Anyway, old B&Ms do stuff. With the exception of the stand-ups, the things that they do is they penetrate your balls and hurt you and make you feel like vomiting, like bad coasters done. I did go on that chairlift. I should have gone on that chairlift. That looks like a good ass time. Okay, so I think what I'm about to do is I know what I'm gonna do. I'm a marijuana consumer. While you drink water, not marijuana. Fuck that shit. I mean, I can't tell you what to do though. You drink water. I'm about to smoke this while we anticipate this dive. I'll exhale when it dives or something. I fucked up the tour. But you either get way too much shit or way too little shit. You can't anticipate how much smoke you shit. This guy said that very not correct. Alright, so Griffon. So I enter this fucking thing, and I see the single rider. By the way, you're watching the real life narration as it happened, like actual as it happened from my perspective from today. So keeping in mind, I've been to Busch Gardens Williamsburg before, but only at night and only to those coasters. So this is my first time on this. Then I'm spoiling what's next. Alpengeist, first time, Loch Ness, blah blah. So I'm exiting Griffon, and I meet a new enthusiast on this ride. Really cool dude, and he was telling me his local park, his opinions on stuff. So we're talking about rankings and stuff. Cool dude, and I told him that I was recording shit for a YouTube channel. I was like, your face might appear in it. It still might. And I was like, hey, can you guide me? Because I want to just knock out the stuff I haven't ridden. And I was going to go next to Alpengeist. Sorry about the coughing. That marijuana. So Alpengeist is where we're headed. And I really didn't know how to go. And I just got dude on his phone, like talking to his dad or his brother or himself, whatever he's doing. He's like, hey, bye. He was helping me. And we're talking about like meeting somewhere. And, oh no, I remember the story. I'm looking at this correctly. He was like, hey, Dad, I met this strange guy on Griffon, and he's recording stuff in 4K, and he needs me to walk him over to Alpengeist if we can meet there instead of meeting with our families and having Hanukkah brunch or something. And, man, that shit sucked. All right, so while he's on the phone, I stalled for time to go teleport. I have no idea what. I feel like there's a clip missing, and I do know from looking at my footage from Six Flags America that there's like an incredibly important part that I totally recorded, but thought I recorded. No, I never recorded. I never hit record, so I never deleted it because it never happened, even though I, thought I did. I think an event like that possibly just happened here. So, so I'm going toward with his directions. Sorry, I had to scoot over. I need some water. My mouth is dry, like dry mouth, cotton mouth kings. So following his directions, I'm going to Alpengeist, and basically that. I really don't have any opinions in advance because honestly, going into this park, both Griffon and Alpengeist, I'm like, B&M inverts as an average don't excite me. B&M dives as an average bore me. So I was really just Pantheon and Nessie and fuck you otherwise. But I do remember when I walked BGW last year that they looked pretty like large scale. Like maybe I should care about them, even though I've only watched the POVs once and didn't really, I didn't really have any kind of intense anticipation for them. But after riding Griffon, I'm like, shit, I might as well look at Alpengeist. I might as well look at that motherfucker. I'm glad I looked at that motherfucker. The operations were not okay. They were very slow, but it didn't matter because the park was pretty dead. I got my couple rides, and I'm telling you, that thing is a banger. It's a banger. It's a very good freaking banger. Up until this point, I had basically, this is how I like S, A, B, C, D, F tiered inverts. Every Batman the ride is F tier. Not because they're bad rides. They're good rides. They're fun. It's just because there's nothing memorable. Like, distinguishing between them in my rankings is literally a chore. There's nothing unique. My rankings, I go by uniqueness. Like, what they bring to the table that others can't do. So F tier for all that shit. I'm thinking something like the Knott's Berry Farm invert would be like a B because it's very good. Great Bear, I'll be honest, I'd say like a C. But I think it's because I had bad rides, so don't get your flamethrowers out. Give me another chance at Hershey Park for that one. But the only ones that I consider S tier, which is the point of where I was getting at, are Montu and Banshee is like hovering S or A. I can't really decide. And Nemesis, when I read it as a teenager, I still know that it's an S, even though it's a 14-year-old's opinion and I'm 34. But I know that's S tier as well. And I don't think I've had another A tier. The best I had of is B. But some good inverts, really good inverts. This is an A. And it's... I mean, let me upgrade it right during the sentence. I think I just... Yeah, I really still do think that it is one microscopic fraction above Banshee. I think it's my number 2 invert. Like on a different day, number 3 at worst. It's the intensity. It's basically, that's it. The more I enjoy a coaster from B&M is almost directly correlated with just how intense it is. It's like these GP magnets, safe, pretty little, woo, you don't get hurt coasters. When B&M was like honing their craft, you know, other than when they were having bicycle seats that, you know, went up your dick. Those coasters suck. But other than that, the sit downs and the floorlesses, these are good coasters. And then as they transition to new formats like, you know, inverts, and I'm saying this whole story wrong. Inverts were early, but anyway, early B&M is good B&M. I have no idea what I'm doing here. That plume. Later in the video, I forget when it happens, but I think I'm walking to it. Like, I feel like getting wet now, and I walk into a line, and it ends up being a different thing. So, just let you know that. Like, that's the energy I have in all these videos, is that... So, reminding you, if you haven't watched any of the old shit, because who cares, right? It's that I record everything on my GoPro, and I save it all, unless it's like just horrific, like you can't understand what's happening, and I immediately catch it, I delete it. But otherwise, I just keep it there, and then my friend Christine, I tell her, look, I need you to help me render these in 4K, and I leave the SD card with her because my computer can't do that shit. And right now I'm doing a voiceover of a smaller version of that video that'll then get placed over the one that actually gets rendered in 4K that you are watching right now. And so it's just this whole crazy scheme to pretend that I'm generating content that the internet wants to enjoy. I'm working on it. I mean, I'm 23 minutes in? Let's see if I can finish this fucking shit. What am I doing? Once again, a reminder. If you think I'm wasting your time, which, yeah, I am wasting your time. I promise I'm wasting your time, and you want to just see what you came to this video for, as I pan up and point at nothing, make sure to go to the description and click into the information that'll link you to where you're supposed to go or something. I don't know. So, as I'm walking through the park, there is a dynamic that I'll just introduce early. I think there's a segue that would get me there later in the trip, but I'm just doing it now. When I walked my parks in the earlier trip, I either had to have a wrist mount or a chest mount or a hand mount, and all of them made me look stupid. So I just walked around the park physically holding the GoPro and with my finger in the way all over the place. You see how little finger over the camera there is now? I learned my lesson, my friends. It's great. I think I'm walking toward InvadR. I'm not. I'm going in the wrong direction, so I have time to stall. I'm not going to InvadR this way. I fucked up. So I walked the parks like that last time. And between that trip and now, I watched those 5 videos I recorded, and I saw my mistakes. I continue to make mistakes, but like different ones. You'll see. This is filmed like shit. But I got the... It's not the tripod thing, but it's the hand mount that like elevates it a little. I can't stretch it like the crazy old selfie stick camera looking fucking things, but the GoPro one. Me holding that, walking around, I gained all of the respect of the crowds around me. The blast trips, everyone was like, who is this guy just like trying to like snoop in on our private lives as we enjoy an amusement park? Upgraded to, yo, let me intentionally get my face in here because this guy is a YouTuber. All that respect from an $8 little hand mount fucking thing from Amazon. What an upgrade. I need to drink water. My throat is burning. Drink water. Oh, shit. So, InvadR. I did ride that last time. I didn't forget about it. I saw it. InvadR is actually... It's good. That's it. It's a family wooden coaster. It does everything you would want from a family wooden coaster. And I have really nothing memorable to say about it otherwise. It's fun. It's okay. And I can't really talk shit, but does it bring anything to the table? Absolutely not. That's it. So I'm walking down, and the next step up is, I think I'm... Oh yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's where like most of this video's topic arises, starting now. How do I get to Loch Ness Monster? This is me walking, and I'm pointing away. My actual perspective is behind me. I asked the people at that stand right there, how do I get to Loch Ness Monster? They give me incorrect directions. I now start walking where I came from because I'm following incorrect directions to Loch Ness Monster. There's two people there. I will never identify who it is because I do not want anybody to be in jeopardy of their jobs. And honestly, if I worked at an amusement park and I got paid what people at amusement parks get paid, I would have given bad directions to Loch Ness Monster as well. Pay them more, for the fucking love of fuck. So I'm walking in the wrong direction. And I don't know whether that was the first set of bad directions or the second. But the ha-ha-ha-ha of the story is that I'm given two different versions of bad directions from Germany, from employees. So I walk casually like I know where I'm going continuously, even though I don't know where I'm going, because employee over here was like, here's how you get to Loch Ness Monster. And I mean, I believe in employee because they're more employees of Busch Gardens Williamsburg than I am, right? So I'm really just walking around here, and I just really don't know what stage of bewilderment I'm in, but it gets a lot worse. So if you're enjoying watching my stupid ass not know how to navigate Busch Gardens Williamsburg, I mean, you're in for what you're in for. I mean, like, here it is. So here's part of my confusion. So when I went last year, both King's Dominion and Busch Gardens Williamsburg had the same fucking shit, where they only opened up the parts of the park that were themed to their Christmas section, and they shut off the parts that didn't have that shit. And at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, the only coasters that were open were InvadR, Verbolten, Apollo's Chariot, and that purple bullshit. So the area that I definitely walked past Alpengeist and shit. Look at that editing. Clip, clip, boop, boop. But the area that walks past Loch Ness Monster was completely blocked off. So I had no familiarity with it, even though I had plenty of time to acquaint myself with the park where all of the rides were closed because it was too fucking cold. Which, did I even tell you about that part yet? That when I rode the rides at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, why do I keep saying the entire name of the park? BGW. Last time, I had 2 days there, open like 5 to 10 both days. The first day, an hour and a half, blah. I only got InvadR and a couple on Apollo and no Verbolten. And the next day, I got 3 Verbolten, no more InvadR because I don't need any more InvadR. And then Apollo Chariot one time, and then it dipped under 41 degrees after like 90 minutes. That's me getting different directions. Okay, so there's directions too. Look, I'm pointing my finger so I can remind myself as a narration cue that this is... what is that? Where was I? Where was I in the narration of this? Do I need to pause it to figure it out? Oh, man, I was so lost in this whole trip. So I'm just going to interrupt where I was and be really angry when I listen to this voiceover later, forgetting where I was in the storytelling. It was cold. There it is. So on the second day, I really became acquainted with a couple of the flats and their barbecue restaurant. I don't know when I pass it. I might not even mention it when I pass by it. They have the barbecue bullshit. You'll know when you smell it. It's awesome. And this is coming from someone who doesn't give a fucking fuck about food at amusement parks. I go for coasters, a few flats, and nothing else. And I was like, well, I might as well take advantage of this gorgeous amusement park where I can ride fucking nothing. I might as well get my money's worth because my friend's out of town. My hotel room's booked over in Doswell. What else am I going to do? I might as well be here. And I was here. The park is so pretty, and it's just it's just so nice that I actually started to enjoy it, even though I was missing so many credits. I only got 4 credits here and 2 credits at King's Dominion. You wonder why I came back to Virginia anyway. So it was like 2 hours in, and I freaking couldn't ride anything anymore. So I ate that barbecue, and I sat there and I just got high, and I ate barbecue, freezing my ass off like I was near like a little heat lamp burn fire guy thing, fucking shit. And I felt good. I actually had a good time. So this park is so good that I can take a piece of shit customer like me who literally just only cares about credits rather than opportunities. And I found a way to have a good time when my trip was fucked. I'm gonna ruin. My number 1 bucket list coaster in the United States was Intimidator 305. Didn't ride it. And that was before this shit that time. So I'm telling the story from last time. And then so this, I was here after that, and I enjoyed that shit. So here am I properly going to Busch Gardens Williamsburg for the first time. Did you see how long it took during all of that for me to find this coaster? All of that. That 1/3 of the video, or 2/5, was all me trying to find this fucking roller coaster. That's embarrassing. Okay, so I think I talked enough about the cult. It was an embarrassment, that trip. So here am I. Here I am. Please stay behind the white line on crop. Why is all this exaggerated hand gestures? It's like I'm in a sitcom in the 70s or something. So I thought that was a good idea, and I know that I'm about to do like incessant amounts of that because I wanted to like both act like I'm doing vivid storytelling, with my whole silent stupid shit, and also give myself cues about what to talk about. But now that I'm watching it like secondhand, I'm not liking it, and I know there's so much ahead, and I'm sorry, it sucks. So I'm going in here, and now I'm about to give you a treat that I didn't tell you that I did. So Nessie, okay, look at that. There's the permit fucking shit. So I went and I was like, so here's what I had to do. I had to like I had to mount the thing on my wrist, which by the way I learned wrist mounts are stupid shit. It's either hand or chest. Wrist is fucked. Who uses wrist mounts? They're terrible. So I had to like shake it, like bop it, like Harlem Shake to the people. Like, okay, it's not gonna get fucked. So then they got the signature, what you just saw. Now this is me. You see how the quality of filming has just deteriorated. It's because I just went from holding it on the little stick, holdy pod selfie stick bitch, and I converted to wrist bullshit. So now I'm going in with my wrist up, looking like an idiot. Like I look weird. And so on the other hand, I'm holding the little permit thing, looking like I have gateway access, like a Centurion card. Look at this. Here I am, flaunting it again, like, bitch, I have a hands-free camera device card, wrist-mount camera, signed 8822 by the supervisor named Pla. And whatever. And why am I even filming this? What is this? What the fuck? You see how this is filmed like shit? So anyway, I'm gonna embrace you. You're about to watch the most garbage point of view POV video of a roller coaster you've probably ever seen, and here's why. So I have my GoPro, which is on like horizon stabilization, level stabilization, some stupid shit like that. And I used it to walk the parks because I walk very and this stabilizes my walking. That translates like fuck to a roller coaster, because you don't want that stabilization, that leveling. You want it to be natural because you want the contouring, turning, the whatever to look natural as your human body would anticipate it. I didn't turn off that setting or turn it on or whatever. I didn't optimize it. I did it wrong, so it's looking weird. And you're about to see that, and here is me recording, like unfiltered, unedited. Look at how genuine and sincere this is. Just no editing. It's showing me in anticipation, looking awkward, holding the thing in the other hand, like waiting for the op who I'm able to tell, I'm allowed to record this, I'm allowed, let me in. And unedited, unfiltered, gives me enough time to just talk. And so Loch Ness Monster, I have been anticipating riding this roller coaster since the beginning of me caring. I mean, forever. You know that interlooping, looping, where they go together? There's only 3 ever built. Now there's one left. This one. And I want to ride every arrow now. I feel like this huge journey, like get on all of them before they're gone, because like these arrows are going to become rarer than Schwarzkopf, and then beyond that, rarer than the rarest stuff. I didn't find closure to what I was talking about. I'm riding this, so this is my second POV ever recorded on a GoPro. And you're seeing it. My first one was, it looked good because it was chest mounted. I actually sucked up the courage to look like a fucking buffoon in public, and I wore a fucking chest mount from my Lost Coaster video. This one I'm doing the wrist. Now imagine this: you're sitting with the fucking shoulder shit over your shit, and you're stoned. Look, this is me. You're me. And high off an ass. And I have my wrist up, so with like weird pressure with my elbow up as well, kinda. And I'm just like up, and I'm like, can this coaster dispatch? Because my wrist already hurts. The thing hasn't dispatched, and my wrist is already like cranky because it's being held at a thing. Look at me trying to narrate it with my hands, like, oh my god, dispatch this train. And then we did dispatch the train. So my wrist and elbow are like currently on fire, and like we haven't even started. So you're gonna see me give in and like lower my shit, and then I kind of brace my wrist toward my body, kind of, and just be uncomfortable. Keep in mind, this is after what, 4 years of anticipating this coaster. I was just concerned about aero downtime so much that I'm like, I gotta get this POV and ride this for the first time ever on the same ride, just in case shit gets fucked. And so I had trouble enjoying it because I'm recording it weird. That thing is good, dude. That's a good invert, man. It's a good invert. So I'm just not knowing what I'm doing. So wrist mounters, what do you do? Because like near the end of it, I kind of like use my other hand holding that wrist for support. What the fuck is a wrist mount? Like, I understand the hand mount's got to be good, and the chest mount is clearly what you ride to create genuine actual POVs. What the fuck's going on with the wrist mount? How does your shit not hurt all the time? Anyway, so here's me using the wrist mount. My wrist is on fire because I'm a pussy or whatever it is. So anyway, I'm going down here and shit's really bad. And you're about to see the level stabilization backfiring because I'm not stabilized. So the thing is stabilizing me being like a wrist turner. And here's that beautiful looking fucking shit, but look at how bad it looks like fucking shit. It looks like fucking shit. This dark part is so cool. Like, I didn't know this part was coming because like I watched the POV a bunch, but I somehow forgot there was like this extended dark segment where it just does this helix that's 12 miles long and it's just fun. It's chaotic. Look at this. Look at my film. You can already, even though it's complete darkness, you can see I don't know what I'm doing. Look, there it is, pointing forward. And by forward, I mean fucking 3:30 o'clock. Wow, this is bad. When you create compilation videos of bad YouTuber moments of coaster things, man, Razzies of coaster fucking shit. I mean, this next part can't be any better. Let's check out how much this is fucked. That looks like a piece of shit. Wow, that's really bad. Like, I knew it was incoming. Like, I remember when I recorded this, my wrist hurts. Oh, this is pointing the wrong way. Oh, no. And I intentionally didn't check the footage. And this is the first time I'm saying, this is actually the first time I'm saying I knew this was coming. So the reason I'm laughing hard is because I knew it was going to be bad. But that is bad. That's so bad. And look, I'm going to give you a teaser in case you're somehow still watching this video. Fucking, it's already the longest video I've made so far, 39 minutes in. Wow. It's that I repeat this nonsense later in this video on a coaster that matters a lot more to most of you than Loch Ness Monster does. I won't spoil it. But this coaster right here, let me tell you about it. I love it. It's so good. My favorite arrows of all time have always been, number one was Magnum X2, which is just doesn't even feel like arrow, but that is my first. So number 2 is Magnum XL200, and number 3, even though it was defunct, I always considered honorary King's Island. Yes. Have I lost something? Yes. This is me perpetuating the joke. I'm pointing at myself that I lost myself getting lost looking for Loch Ness Monster. Yes, I spent 12 minutes in this video looking for Loch Ness Monster, which actually was more like 25. So I guess I cheated and didn't film all of the footage of me being lost. It was over half an hour of me being lost. Loch Ness Monster is fucked up. So I was lost. What the fuck was I talking about? Shit. I don't remember. That's annoying. Alright. So I'm walking away from Loch Ness Monster. And so now I'm going to continue going on in this video. And I'm not quite sure what happens next other than the just really poor filming. So there's an upward view into, I remember, God, dude, I'm winning today. Number 3 favorite arrow is now Loch Ness Monster. Vortex at Kings Island was my honorary number 3. I don't rank defunct coasters, so that had to be out of the picture. But this is in my top 50, I think, or something. I mean, it might not be. It's 60 at worst. I forget what it is. You know what? Like, as I'm recording this, I'm clicking on a tab. I'm gonna tell you exactly where it is. I forget because I am zooted. I'm high. And coasters, there's that tab. Let me click that bitch. So I'm walking away from the ride. I think I switched back to my little like handheld thing. That's probably why it's better quality. So in the rankings and shit, I got Loch Ness Monster at number fucking bitch. Oh, it was a great ass ranking. That's right. I'm forgetting how I thought and shit. Loch Ness Monster is ranked number. I just lost it. Fuck off. Where is it? Dude, I can't read a spreadsheet. LOCH. Oh, I see why I can't find it. I'm in my I'm in the wrong spreadsheet. I'm in the wrong spreadsheet. Hold on. No wonder I was like, I'm incredulous. This is incorrect. It's my number 32. Now I'm looking. That's making me feel way better. Right next to how much I think I remember enjoying Big One at Blackpool Pleasure Beach when I was a teenager, and I was on a failed date. My first date ever was at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, actually, by the way. Becky, you watching this? No, you're not. And I made a fool of myself, and she hated me. But I did a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon, and I wanted to ride the fuck out of Big One. And I did. And that's what I remember, and that salvaged a bad date. That used to be indisputably my 3rd favorite arrow, but now Loch Ness Monster I think is just right there next to it. And the reason why it took me this long to get to the reason, oh my god, bad narration. The reason why is because Loch Ness Monster, it's got like Schwarzkopf intensity on the loops, very very intense. It is smooth. Like, I thought y'all were saying, like, Canyon Blaster bolt fucking shit. The Canyon thing at Adventure Dome was where the smoothness was at for arrows. Yeah, that thing's smoother. It was smoother. Loch Ness Monster was totally smoother. And it had that whole dark ride kind of intensity with those big, intense helixes through that dark tunnel. And the scenery is beautiful, man. Like, where it looped over each other with that. It's classic. It's got that vintage thing. I consider it, in my opinion, basically a premium luxury amusement park experience. It's a privilege. And you know, it's also a privilege is my ability to smoke. I'm 43 minutes in. I'm trying to hit this weed because the only reason that I can talk at this accelerated rate while not being repetitive with my information is because marijuana makes me talk quickly. Drink water. There it is. The ground, the cement. What the fuck am I filming? What in the flying fuck is this fucking shit? I mean, was I getting so just tired of filming that I just did that? Like, I'm answering my question. Yes, I did that, dude, because you're seeing yourself do that. It's not great. Alright, so I'm taking the train, and I'm not quite sure why. I know why. I was thinking, okay, so here's the coasters I recorded. The whole point is that I need to pass by every coaster a singular time. And I had already gone up the hill with that thing right there, right in front of us. And this essentially takes me to where I haven't been. So I'm not sure where it's taking me, but I know that it's taking me somewhere I haven't yet been on this trip. It's good enough. You can see I'm passing by like the purple Sesame Street coaster fucking shit. And so I know I'm going somewhere new, and I remember vaguely where everything was relative to each other away from where I was. So I was lost around Loch Ness Monster, lost out of my mind, lost for much longer than this video conveys, like enough to where that was the plan of what I was going to name this video. Is this idiot can't find Nessie? I'm still going to name that shit. I couldn't find Nessie. It was hard to find that shit. But the rest of the park I was pretty familiar with because those paths were open last year when I had plenty of time to acquaint myself with being lonely at an amusement park with no coasters to ride and shit. But without the Nessie path. So I got lost as shit this time. I could totally touch those leaves. By the way, it's a true story. You can touch the leaves on the train at Busch Gardens. And I do it again. You can see how I'm just deprived of footage opportunities. I'm like, just dude, something new needs to occur so that I can exploit this premise of just changing the background scenery to continue, basically record a podcast over a fucking, drop my phone. What the fuck is, I mean, you got to admit that this is sincere coverage of an amusement park from the perspective of a fucking idiot, right? So there's my Steel Vengeance background, 416. Useless information relative to what's going on in this video. All I know is that I'm in a train and I'm happy. Shit's hot as fuck. Oh my, and I remember I was right here. I was like, dude, let's race this shit. Oh wait a minute, I'm getting butt fucked from the opportunity to race this shit because we're at a stop sign. But look, we're beating you in the race because you're blocked. So I actually won this race, motherfucker. Let's get them. And so I'm going down this train, and it's hot. That's why this is me being on 2 different transportation rides in an amusement park in one day is the only time I've done that in my entire life. I hate transportation rides. I hate carousels and boring, like, things you take your children on. If you're allowed to take your toddler on it, I hate that shit. I only went on this because A, recording footage for a video and it's lazy and it gives me good coverage footage while I can sit on my butt, and B or 2, I forget what was the first one, is I was fucking hot. It was hot. I was sweating, I was baking, I was broiling, I was exaggerated heat words. Check out Apollo's Chariot. Motherfucker. Look, even though it's either the first or second worst B&M Hyper, I thought it was considerably the worst, but now I can't decide. It's the worst B&M Hyper. It's a B&M Hyper. It's fun anyway. So the reason that it's the exact opposite of the B&M bullcrap that I was saying earlier, which is kind of ironic, to be quite honest with you. I was saying the older that B&M was with their sit downs and shit, the better the rides. But with Hypers, the older it gets, they're worse. Because Apollo's Chariot was the first one, right? It sucks. It's the worst. And their newer stuff tends to be better, but maybe I'm making shit up because Diamondback is the... Whatever. Diamondback... Man, I'm just trying to... Dippin' Dots! I'm making commentary up about bullcrap. So Tempesto, it is the same shit really as, the other ones at the other Busch properties. I'm going here intending to go there, and then I don't. I clearly don't, right? What happened here? Because I don't get to ride Tempesto. Oh yeah, there it is. I discovered it in the video, identically to how I just discovered it right now. And I'm like, oh fuck, anyway, so it's fucked. But it's I did ride it later. I'm probably not gonna remember the opportunity later to tell you that I did ride Tempesto. But my last ride of the day, I forfeited my last ride on Pantheon to get my credit on Tempesto. I think it's actually a better ride than the other Skyrocket 2s in the other Busch SeaWorld shits by a tiny micro hair. But it's good, and they're all fun. I mean, they're just not memorable because they're Batman the Ride syndrome. There's too many of those fucks. But it's fun. I mean, I can see why any normal person visiting an amusement park would be like, Tempesto slap. It's good. So here I am actually going, and I choose single rider instead of regular rider because I'm a single rider. And at that point, I'm like, I don't care if they have to allocate me to row 3. I mean, I've done this before. I kind of wanted to get another ride because when I was here last time, I remember I got suboptimal rides on Apollo. This footage sucks. I got suboptimal rides on Apollo Chariot last time when it was like cold and shit, and it was dead trains because nobody was really there. And I was like, maybe I got crap rides because of the temperature and they were riding slow, because it was relative to the other hypers, it was riding slow. So I wanted to give it a hot ride, you know, just to make sure I wasn't full of fuck, full of shit. And I rode it, and I'll be quite honest with you, it improved a little. It improved not to be, you know, gone away from the worst B&M hyper, but now rivaling Candemonium as the worst hyper. Candemonium smoother by magnitudes, but it's boring. Apollo's Chariot is more classic but boring, you know. That little brake run over there and that little dip near the end are like the highlights. That's not how hypers are supposed to work, when it goes boom and slams you down, and then it gives you that like last second dip that actually gives you that nice little imaginative moment of ejector at the end of the coaster. That shouldn't be the highlight of a B&M hyper coaster. Like that shit near the end, that's fun. It's actually pretty good. I like how it dips into the woods. I like the scenery. I really do enjoy that. And if that had a better layout and actual G-forces, I would consider that one of the best. I would consider it better than like Nitro. I would consider it one of the best, but it just doesn't really do anything, which is ironic for an old B&M. But you know, whatever it is. Anyway, so I'm getting into the back row, and I'm getting out of the back row, and oh yeah, the ride ops on that ride were cool. They were like the 8th person so far in this video. Like, are you a YouTuber? Do you YouTube.com in your spare time? And I told them, yeah. And they're like, safe journey on your travels or something. I promise I told that story wrong, but it's something like that in terms of like how much it matters. So I'm walking away from Apollo's Chariot. I mean, I enjoyed the ride, but like, I'm upset at that point because Tempesto was fucked. It was fucked, but I got the ride later, so it doesn't really the storytelling's fucked right now regarding that. Like, you know, whatever. So I'm now walking to like the thing I should have been talking about, in your opinion, from the beginning. I'm walking toward Pantheonizing Pantheonius. You know, those guys over there like, yo, YouTube, let me, like, yeet, or whatever they said. Some Gen Z word thing. And I said the same thing back to them, and I didn't even know what it meant. I mean, I do know what these words mean. I just don't remember which one it was. I'm not acting like, oh my god, I don't understand my audience. I absolutely understand, like, dapping and, like, you know, all that crap. So Apollo's Chariot. So about that coaster I haven't talked about yet. What am I actually doing? Am I going to Dippin' Dots? What am I filming right now? What was that? What is that? By the way, you see that little Pantheon, little like stiff dick right there on the side? That is about the entirety of the theming you'll ever get for fucking Pantheon. So for a coaster this European, right? Like in terms of like its theming, its colors, its structure, its whatever, you would think that this would, and in a place like BGW with how beautiful it is with the landscaping and shit, you would think that that would be themed like Europa Park quality type of fucking shit. No. That stiff dick back over there with the Pantheon thing, and I think this sign showing a 50-minute wait right now, it's kind of fucked. It's about all you're going to get. It's not fantastic. By the way, so telling the story as it happened to me, when I get to this point in the video, even though the video is, 3/4 done or something, this is actually kind of early in my day, but I'm just trying to get the walkthrough done to do the walk through the park, and I was about to do Pantheon, and I just didn't, because I'm like, I just talked to the write-off. If you saw, I stalled for a second. I asked him, should I expect the lines for Pantheon to be a little less fucked later in the day, and he's like, absolutely. So I'm like, well, I still need to get Verbolten footage or something. Is that the only one left? I'm assuming it's Verbolten. And I was also fighting the prospect of my phone, my GoPro, the battery had like 7% left or something, and it was draining really quickly. And I'm like, I want to, as a personal challenge, walk from where I am and get to Verbolten before it dies. I had 2 batteries, so I wasn't worried about losing my batteries. But I wanted to get there so that the battery could die, and then I could enjoy my day for 4 hours, and then replace the battery, and then film the Pantheon shit. Which, by the way, there's a POV coming. Yo, that's the guy who told me to give him hellos and shit. That guy. How are you doing, my friend, man? I hope you're having a good day. And so I'm walking fucking shitty through. What is this? What? Oh. So I'm walking toward Verbolten, otherwise known as the locals' source of hatred because it replaced Big Bad Wolf. So I'm going in here. Cool. It's all hot. By the way, it's not even room. It's fucking hot. It's warehouse hot. It's fucking hot. I'm not trying to spread COVID. It's hot, and I need water. And the reason that I'm showing you this part is because I just talked to the person over there. I'm walking this whole park. I can't find cold water. Oh my god! And she told me if you go to this place, you'll get cold water. And that had cold water. I think I found it. She said there's exactly one thing in the back of the shit, and I got the cold water. And I think I thanked her. I mean, isn't this the best vlog you've ever seen of an amusement park? That's the things that matter. Do you have employees who are look, I'll tell you where the secret stash of the 3 bottles of actually cold water at Busch Gardens Williamsburg are. You go over here, you get that shit, and I promise you're going to be satisfied. By the way, all, facetiousness aside. By the way, it died. It died right there. It died. I didn't make it. This is my walk to Verbolten trying to get, before it died, I fucked up. It died. So this is the new battery already, but I make it. So what I was saying is I need to give praise to the staff at honestly both Tampa and Williamsburg. Awesome customer service. The operations are wholly better than Tampa. They're fantastic here. I'm not saying Tampa's the worst, but Busch Gardens in Williamsburg does a good job. It's pretty good stuff. And I had a good time here. I have nothing bad to say. I didn't eat here today because I just try not to eat in amusement parks. It's just coasters are more important than nourishment. But when I was stuck here with no coasters to ride last time because I didn't anticipate Christmas events correctly, fuck that shit. So I was forced to eat, and then I actually sat down. I was forced to sit down and enjoy it and not move. And I had that barbecue shit somewhere down there. Where is it? It's by I think it's a little past Verbolten and before InvadR or something. Some barbecue shit. It smells good. Eat there. It was a highlight. It was the highlight of my time. It was a higher, got better credit than Apollo's Chariot. So there's a Pantheon. I don't know really what I'm doing with this shot, to be quite honest with you. I think I'm making shit up. What is that? What the fuck is this fucking... What the fuck? What the fuck am I filming? What am I trying to do? I don't remember. See, the thing is, I'm high as hell here. Please remember this. So my intentions and shit are so random. Oh, I was going for this shot the entire time. Were those all failed attempts to get that shot? And of course I didn't delete them because I told Christine to keep every piece of the footage. That's why you watched all that stupid shit. Because I told it, really, I know that 84% of this footage is beyond unredeemable, but I'm keeping it because I just want to talk a lot and entertain the 7 of you who are still watching this fucking shit. Anyway, so I'm walking down this really pretty area. It's honestly really cool. And by the way, let me give you some street advice and shit. If you need to urinate at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, I know finding a bathroom here is about as rare as finding Loch Ness Monster as it was for my trip. It's rare shit. Bathroom right there. I remember I needed to pee for 20 years, and I found that shit, and I went in there, and boy, did I enjoy that bathroom. It was clean, and I was alone. So I enjoyed the bathroom because nobody showed up when I needed it. Just great bathroom. I'm talking Bucky's level of bathroom enjoyment, entertainment. So we were arriving in Italy or something, and fucking nothing in here I think matters to me because it's kind of coaster devoid. Pantheon, is that in the Italy part? I don't even know. If it is, then Italy's cool. But right now in this park, Italy sucks. I went to real life Italy when I was a teenager, and I coincidentally ran into a field trip of people from my exact same school that I had no idea about in Rome. I was with my family eating ice cream. Now, I lived in London in high school. Look at that Big Bad Wolf replacement shit. And so I lived in London in an international school, and I went to Rome with my family to do whatever we were doing. I don't care. And we just ran into some people from my school in Rome, and that's my story. Look at this view of that. Look at that loop. That looks really good. That's really good shit. Really good ride, man. If you need to ride that before this is only footage. If you blink too many times, this thing will be gone because maintenance of aerodynamics roller coasters is fucked up. And you don't want to be a victim of not being able to ride every arrow. Down there, I think you can like do some boat shit. I don't know what you think about it. You can leave me a comment in the comments if you know anything about that boat shit. So I think I just showed Verbolten. I don't know if that's all I show of Verbolten. Like, it might be. Verbolten is a really fantastic family ride. Honestly, it's kind of crazy. It's got the thrills. It's got the whole the suspense. You know how like some Disney kind of like Hagrid's bullshit, the suspenseful moments where it stops and jolts you and makes you go, oh my god, I wonder what's next. Verbolten does its own unique version of that. The launches feel pretty good. That drop, that Big Bad Wolf equivalent drop, feels awesome. What am I doing? Okay. Hey, I think I just fucking doxed myself for the first time ever. Anyway, so I think what I'm doing is, I'm getting my Instagram picture of the fucking shit simultaneously while recording the fucking shit. What am I? This is so bad. I'm anxious, like I'm about to drop my phone into the water, and I know I don't because I fucking didn't. So my phone's right here, and I'm touching my phone, and I'm anxious. I'm tapping my phone, and I'm anxious about dropping it in the water because I'm fucking hot. Shit. All right, so I don't know how long I stay in this shot that hasn't changed. Hey, at least we get a little bit of Griffon action in that. Oh wait. Oh, was I once again unedited? I was waiting for part 2 of Nessie. And was that it? Like, did we get the other loop? What is this? Oh, don't drop it in the water. Alright, so... How are you still here? Oh, there's that loop! Let's get them! Let's get them! Alright, please move from this shot, dog. Alright, so we're moving away from that shit. Dude, I don't think I've seen a finger over the camera yet. I've only these exaggerated hand gestures. That's it. In this video yet. That's pretty cool because I remember that Cedar Point and Kings Island video. I really wanted to shoot myself in the face with 34 rifles, watching how much I fucked up with my finger and this shit. And I was like, I saw that and immediately placed the order for the little hand GoPro mount little thing. I'm holding it, man. I'm like fondling it. There it is. Dude, it has like buoyancy or something to where like if it gets thrown in water, it floats and shit. You hear it rattling? That's that shit. So I'm holding that bitch while that guy has trouble walking uphill. Hope he hurt. Wait, hold on. I hope he didn't hurt himself. And there's Verbolten. The little different cars have different license plates and do different shit. They're cool, man. It's fun. I like it. What else? I think there's some shit down there I didn't pay attention to because it's not coasters. And this video is already like maybe a little longer than it should be. The theming right here is pretty cool. Honestly, if they put any semblance of effort into Pantheon's theming like they did with Verbolten, then Pantheon would be themed like all of that best European shit. Anyway, so there's Pantheon, and I teleported back to Pantheon. After a while, like a few hours, you see like the sun doesn't look the same or something. And okay, that's how I did it. So I was like, I'm going to ride a ride on this. I hope I'm narrating this correctly. Without the fucking GoPro, let me just get my ride. That's right. Let me get my ride and really feel it, enjoy it. And I got like 3 of them. Okay, I got like 3 or 4 rides. That's how it went. Yeah. And I said, I want to enjoy this for real. I don't want to be like holding a GoPro on my first fucking ride and then thinking about that GoPro, make sure it's not fucked up. And so I enjoyed it. I'll just cut the bullshit. Hey, people are waving. They're like, yeah, maybe on YouTube. No, you're not. Nobody's watching this. And number 14 out of 300. I got to my 300th credit on this trip, by the way, in Six Flags America. It's pretty cool. So, Pantheon. I think that this is one of the best Intamins in the country, pretty comfortably. Number 14 out of 300. And I think it's just above Skyrush for perspective. I think Skyrush is more intense, but this one is more of a complete package. It does more, just does fun stuff. You see that little bump right there, that little airtime little hump before the part you're seeing right now. Highlight of the ride when it keeps hitting over there. Nobody talks about it, but it's like one of my favorite parts of Pantheon, man. So everything about every element of this ride, while none of it's exactly groundbreaking. I mean, that right there is fun. That RMC theft right there. Every element, while not the best, together is just so fucking fun, man. So it really doesn't matter. I think it's a dope ass ride. Velocicoaster's a little better, but like if that's your standards, to where if it doesn't compete with Velocicoaster, then maybe you need to take your thumb out of your asshole. Tempesto, I'm waving off that shit. I got the ride later. It's fine. It's Skyrocket 2. Why am I talking about it? So you see that 35-minute wait? It was shifting between a 35-minute wait and a 32-minute wait. Over and over again, 35. And when you look up, 32. 32. First of all, 32 is a strange wait by itself. Well, what the hell's going on with this 32? 35. 32. 35. I can't possibly convey, I can't make an inference of in what planet that you would have a shifting prediction of a wait time that's already wrong to begin with. Hey, roll back. What's up? Between 32 and 35 minutes, it's got to be just a glitch in the bitch. If it isn't, then maybe, I mean, I'm sure someone's going to tell me exactly what it is and make me look like a fucking asshole. But until then, man. Alright, so look, watch it crest that hill, and it, it defeats the Olympic shit or whatever it's doing. With no theming, so it's like I can't even get engrossed in the story of Pantheon, doing its crazy Olympic Greek shit. That answers my question from earlier. Is Pantheon in Italy? No, it ain't. It's in Greece. Is there a Greece in Busch Gardens Williamsburg? I think so. Okay, so I think I get most of the ride in this perspective. So it starts by doing a little that thing, and dude, I'm not gonna be going like JoJo Row Death Roll, fucking like Hawthorne Heights roll, whatever the fuck I don't do all of that. I'm just calling it like I know. Sometimes I know the term, sometimes I get it wrong. And here is the roll. Is it still called a rollback when it's intentional? I have absolutely no idea. That's why you turn to better YouTube channels to learn about the terminology. So that's so fun. Front and back are both fun on that shit. And then that little that you can't see because it's hiding behind the little house thing. It's really good. It's really good. I like it more than some of the elements in the back half. After this point, maybe, there's less to talk about, but it's still so fun and still complete. And like you've had similar accelerating Intamins where the coaster's over by that point anyway, so you're having a good time. Look at them weeing before anything happens. Look, there's way too few people actually on that train with their arms up. These people. They've probably had just continuous access to good amusement park their entire lives, while you sitting in fucking Montana, you might go to Silverwood once in your entire life, and that's all you've got. Fuck you. These people are spoiled, and you're not, and you're looking at them with envy. I was looking at people with envy like that too until I just made money, and I was like, well, let me just take literally all of the surplus of my budget of every month of every time ever and only put it toward this hobby, and that's it. And that's all of my expenditure. So here I am. I've shifted to fucking the wrist mount crap, and I have the permit thing and whatever it is. And so that's why the quality got fucked up. And you're gonna have to tolerate that because it's all I've got. So yeah. So I'm at the front of the station of Pantheon, and the reason I'm wearing a wrist strap is because, as I said, I got permission, and I'm stalling for time because I'm about to show you one of the worst POVs of the worst POV of Pantheon. you've ever seen in your life. It is a piece of fucking bullshit, and you're gonna be excited. No, you won't. It's not great. What is it? What's the thing over his ears? It's like a napkin? I mean, I'm sure there's totally an explanation, but I'm looking at it like not knowing what it is. Leave a comment in the comments about that comment and shit. Hit the green button, dispatch that shit so I can get on the next train, because like everyone's like, come on man, get to the point. Why did you not edit this footage out? And the reason why is I don't edit footage because I don't know how and I don't want to. And I think it'll change the dynamic of the laziness of my footage if I start to edit videos, and I don't want to start perpetuating that fucking shit. So I'm about to board the... Why am I feeling like I'm telling you a lie? I don't think I board the next train, even though it looks like I'm... Why don't I? I know something's about to happen. Oh, it's because they're letting the other people who've been waiting at the... Okay, look, I ain't gonna make fun of someone with disability or accessibility issues or whatever. Get from that front row. You go ahead and take it. I remember, you know. Have at it. I mean, anybody who complains about that needs to get fucked up. Like, hit them. Don't complain about people who have an actual reason to get the front row. Drink your drink, buddy, and right up. You need to get your electrolytes to tolerate asshole-ass customers like me. I'm the worst shit. So while somebody else enjoys the front row instead of me, while you wait with me, like this is what when people talk about station waits, man. Why are you stapling yourself, dude? Like, don't do that shit. Tempesto, whatever. When you have to tolerate a station wait, when you hear that term, sometimes a station wait's like 8 minutes. Look at this shit. And then what if you have like a guest crying or someone who threw up or, a ride-up who doesn't give a shit? I mean, a station wait could be a solid 12, 15 minutes. And if it's at, Lost Coaster, a station wait is an hour and a half. So we're going to wait for the next train, which I'm assuming after I show you this crooked footage. Why did I film this? What is this? I'm smoking weed again. Fuck this. Can you dispatch this fucking train so I can ride the next fucking train? Slipknot's cool. Alright, dude, dispatch the fucking there it is. Yeah, I see you. Hey, you're on YouTube, and 19 people are gonna see you ever. Because nobody... I mean, I might have gotten maybe 100 people lifetime to click this video to begin with, but to still be here at 1 minute and 12 minutes, that's a hard sell. That's fucked. I mean, like, there's no way. And I'm like, let me move my shit to the other side of the shit. Like, we already saw this guy. He's done a complete ride. Like, that is the lack of editing, the sincerity, the genuine, unedited experience. I'm telling that guy, dude, I got a permit. Don't worry about me, man. I'm good. I'm going to put away my phone, but not my camera, because the weird dynamic of how this video is going, I'm wearing my future while pointing up at the light in the sky and the restraint, and I'm embarrassed. I mean, I already know that you're about to watch fucked up footage, and because it's a little better, I think, maybe than Loch Ness Monster. But look, he just stapled the fuck out of me. You saw that? I'm like sitting here like ballooning up with my belly. Like, come on, man, don't staple that shit. And he stapled that shit. He made sure I stapled that shit. Maybe he was like upset that I had the recording permit. He wanted to make sure that I didn't have fun. Whatever. I did have fun because it's dope as hell, man. So I'm in the front row and I'm still waiting. I mean, like, dude, that station wait from hell, right? Like, I mean, like, one of the worst problems a human being can face is a station wait in Pantheon Station. I mean, like, this, you actively see the dusk getting darker as I wait for that shit. And Tempesto goes on a like 9th ride since I got to the beginning of this part of the video at the station Pantheon shit. And any time now will actually dispatch, such as right now. Yo, let's go. Boop, bump. All right. So to start this ride, we kind of do a little, shit off to the left, and there's like the first little boost, and look, the level, the level horizon shit. I forgot to turn off that setting. I think I mentioned that earlier in the video. So this is gonna look very odd and off-putting because I am holding the shit fucked up, kind of like pulled back to my chest, looking up, going the wrong way, and it's trying to stabilize things where I'm just jerking around. I have no idea how to hold it. Look at this, it looks like a piece of shit. That bump is fun. That bump is fun. Don't fuck with that bump. It's good shit. And look, people who actually have talent and reveal, like, could you imagine if something went wrong and you derailed there? That'd be crazy. So people who have actually talent and, like, look at this. Do you think motherfuckers film like this? That's a piece of fucking shit. Construction equipment, is that part of the theming when you couldn't just find, actual theming for that? Doesn't look natural. That's not how natural things occur in a. This part's fun. Every single time that element happens, it should do the whole way. It shouldn't turn back. It should go the whole way. That's not natural. You see that? It goes zig and zag, but my perspective is just straight. Because it's got the horizon shit. Yeah, a thumb up to the ride, but thumb down to the fucking filming. That is a pile of bad fucking shit. If you are a staff member of Busch Gardens Williamsburg and you disapprove of my footage, I mean, you can file a complaint to have this video taken down for disparaging your park. Even though I love your park and I love Pantheon, I think it's good shit. I think Pantheon's good shit, and it's just definitively the highlight of the park. I mean, it's what exactly it needed. I mean, other than the large scale wooden coaster from Great Coasters International, that guy Staples a motherfucker. Don't do that, man. They need like a good GCI or a big ass gravity group. Every park needs a gravity group, but like large scale. And I think that would be the real gap filler as a 10th coaster. They have some dark ride bullshit coming in 2023, right? Like, it doesn't matter. But like for an 11th coaster at this park, I think a large scale Woody would be good shit. As this train dispatches from this exciting station that's themed incredibly well. By the way, you see that little TV up there in the top that just went black, whatever. If you are at a station of really any modern ride, B&M, Intamin, blah, 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 and the ride ops don't really care, and they don't staple you in, or they're enthusiasts and they're trying not to staple you, pull down that fucking shit until you see it goes green, but do it slowly. Get to the highest setting where it is green. Then, as the ride op is coming, balloon up and gain 100 pounds, kind of like shift forward a little, but don't be a dickhole. Like, if they see that you're doing it and they want to staple you, let them staple you. You can't be that guy. And if you have like an RMC or something with like the shin guard or whatever thing, like kind of stretch out to the sides to where your knees and your calves and thighs and shit kind of like hold the thing down. That'll prevent you from getting stapled and it'll give you the craziest airtime while still safe. And you're not breaking rules. And she was in the front row with me. I hope you have a great time in the future of your life, my friend. Do your thing, man. And then Pantheon. So don't get too fucked up with being stapled. And that's my advice for your life. So we're going to Pantheon again, I think. But no, not really, because this video is about to end. So final thoughts on Busch Gardens Williamsburg after this video that should have probably been cut by 92% in length, because I've accomplished fuck all with it. Is that this park is an asset, like couple it to your life and shit, and then if you couple it with King's Dominion, like, dude, outstanding stuff. Pantheon's what this place needed. Loch Ness Monster is just a vintage experience it's like coaster education. You gotta go on that shit. You have to go on that shit. Tempesto is skippable because it exists in a lot of other places, but it's the best of the skippables, the disposables. Their B&Ms are surprisingly good, except for Apollo's Chariot, which is, mediocre, but a mediocre B&M Hyper is better than almost all of the other stuff at your, frontier city looking ass park. So it's pretty good. And InvadR exists. And so that's about it for this park. So, wrapping up this video, I do get that Tempesto credit at like 3 minutes before the park closes. So I'm about to look at it like, I'm never going to ride it. I do ride it. This is 4 hours before the fucking shit. So, great park, and I'll catch you next time when I go to King's Dominion, and I think that video is also just about as long as this fucking shit. That's fucked up, right? You need to unsubscribe because it only gets worse from here, just like this footage. Wow, fuck.